What's going on, people? The GBP baby. It's currently, what time is it? It's 1:22 p.m. on the 7th of May, Sunday, 2023. We're gonna take a look at. We're gonna do a little weekly review. We're gonna work our way from Dixie into GBP into Euro. And yeah, man. So we started a new month this week, and let's just have a look at last week's price action. We'll see that Dixie managed to take out these highs up here. So it took out this buy side. Yeah, so Dixie managed to take out this buy side last week and then failed to take out the sell side. But we did still close down around the 50% level of this wick we closed. And I am now looking for this side to get taken next week because there are relative equal lows. However, if we are expecting higher dollar, which again I've been expecting for a while, like I am waiting for it to continue. I don't know if we need to necessarily trade down into these lows to take out any more liquidity, because we traded down past this low here and we've been stuck in this range ever since, if that makes sense. So we took out this sell side the week commencing 10th of April, and then since we've been posting higher price, as in we haven't traded lower than that, and I'm not really sure if there's any need. So I'm not, again with dollar, it is very sticky. We've been in this consolidation for a very long time now. If we do start to trade higher, I want to see it aggressively trade higher. But you can see these relative equal lows here, but at the same time it's like, again, do we necessarily need to trade down there at all is the question. So I guess we'll see. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mark out our current trading range, and then what we're going to do is we're going to look at PD arrays both above and below the market, and based off that we should get a nice idea of potential targets. Again, I am expecting a stronger dollar, so in terms of weekly targets, the new high which I want to see, you know, get started to work, I want to see price work towards now would be this high. And then our current trading range will be this high to this low. Obviously we're in this trading range as well, like we're currently still in this week's trading range, and we'll mark that out so that we're aware of where we are within that range. And we'll go to the daily and we should be able to get a nice understanding of where we are in price action. And we'll try anyway, because like I said, Dixie is very messy right now. I don't really want to say too much because again, like, it's not the best looking. So we have this low and we have these lows here. These are the relative equal lows I was talking about. It wouldn't shock me at all if price did just take them out, come down, and then start straight higher, because again last week we took out these highs, relative equal highs here, as anticipated, and then we traded down and failed to take out these lows. So that could be, it's possible that this might be Dixie taking out these lows could be the low of the week, and also we have a bullish order block here, which would then justify a reason for Dixie to want to go down there, collect orders, and then trade higher. It will also be putting Dixie into a pretty heavy discount before, you know, starting to well, I'd like I said, I'd like to see it aggressively trade higher if it does, if we are bullish. Right, so here to here is our, like, you know, our lower time frame trading range, and you can see we're in a very big discount. Again, whether it dips below here or not, a whole nother question to be honest, but I am going to mark this out. because I wouldn't be surprised if price did want to come into this order block, especially considering we took out buy side liquidity here. So it only, and we have a clear break in market structure here. You can see price broke down, left it, and it hasn't been able to trade back up there since. We have a fair value gap off here, resting above the relative equal highs, again buy side. But if we are in a sell program, as in more short-term sell program, since we took out buy side liquidity, if we're in a sell program, we'll be looking for sell side. So that's my reasoning for wanting to see it trade into this bullish 4-hour order block. And obviously that's the order block rests within the wick of this. So since this is the higher time frame, and the higher time frame always wins, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark out the 50% of this wick. That's 100.4544. Make it red, and I'll put 50% off daily wick. 50% daily wick. Then we drop down to the lower time frame, 4-hour. I'll also mark out the south side liquidity. And remember, I'm expecting bullish dollar, so as soon as it drops below south side liquidity, it should act as it shouldn't spend long down there, and we want to see price turn around pretty quickly. So I'll mark out south side there. And then obviously you have this order block. Let's drop down to the 1 hour and see if we can see anything more specific. Again, this wick is, I think, pretty much the same as the daily wick, because this 50% level seems to be resting nicely within it. We have this order block here. And what you got to remember about order blocks is it's called an order block because there's orders resting there. And then depending on whether it's a bullish or bearish, it's going to change the type of order block it is. Obviously this is a bullish order block, so I'm expecting buy orders to be rested. Like this would be, when it comes down here, this is the chance for the big institutions to be getting in on the larger move that's likely to come. This is the 15-minute, and it's pretty much all the same. Again, you can see consolidation and then expansion. So this will be a good buying location to buy from. Again, assuming price does want to dabble down there. So now we have sell side and buy side defined. I'm going to mark out this buy side as well, because this is very clear buy side liquidity on the 1 hour. It's possible that price might want to trade up here first and then come into the sell side to take out these highs one more time. If we look at the trading range from here to here, you can see our price trades above it and then leaves it straight away. Again, with a break in market structure right here. So whether there's any reason for us to trade up here, personally I don't think there is any reason for us to go to this buy side first. Again, as I said, we broke down here, we traded below 50%, we've come back up, touched it. So if we're going to, before we see a turnaround, I want to see sell side get taken, but at least now we have targets again, both below and above market, which is what you need. But as you can see, again, dollar is very, very consolidated. Like, personally, I don't trade the dollar index, but I know some people do. And right now, again, we're just waiting for an expansion, and that's what I mean when I say I want to see it trade aggressively higher. Like, I want to see a big or large expansion. Yeah. one thing that is making me question whether this sell side is going to get attacked next week. By the way, we're on the weekly now. Is the fact that when we traded above these relative equal highs here, that shows bullishness to me. So again, since we took out buy side there, if we are to remain bullish, I don't think I want to see sell side get taken, because it would, if we are bullish, sell side shouldn't be getting touched, as in they should now act as support, if anything. Which means that next week I wouldn't necessarily want to see us trade down into the sell side. The most I'd want to see is us trade within the range of last week, if that makes sense. So let me mark out this red, and we'll drop down to the 4 hour and we'll see. So as I was saying, although there is sell side resting down below here, if we're bullish, whether this sell side gets taken does come into question, because it's possible that price might consolidate within here and then expand higher and start taking out all the buy side, if that makes sense, or engineer liquidity within this range and then continue higher. Monday will probably make it a lot, well 100%. Monday will make everything a lot more clear. That's why we don't trade Mondays. So we're gonna so we'll see what happens Monday. I am gonna leave this range, and then we'll come back. But obviously we are gonna keep our eyes on this order block and these wicks. However, it is important to take into account that if we're bullish, should we really be seeing sell side getting taken? Does that make sense? That should make sense. But yep, let's move on to GBP USD. We'll start with the monthly, because again we started a new month this week, and the British interest rate decision is this week Thursday. It's coming Thursday, so we can expect some volatility on that behalf. Now, time was pretty interesting in terms of us not trading to this high. If it's gonna, I wouldn't be surprised if price doesn't take out this high straight away. It returns down, consolidates a little, takes it, and then starts to break lower. But we're gonna do the same thing we did with dollar, which means marking targets both above and below. Obviously we've got this buy side above market. Below market we can look at this wick as a range. We can clearly see this is all up trade. This candle and this wick, this is all traded upwards. ICT has stated how wicks are gaps too. So when I see wicks the same size as a range like this, I tend to look at them like fair value gaps. So like I'd still consider this a bullish fair value gap, for example, if that makes sense. I'm not going to mark it out like that though. I am, however, going to mark the 50% level off this wick, because if price, again, if we are bullish, price shouldn't trade below that, and then we should take out this high. So this will be the below market. This will be the below market target. Let's go to the daily. Let me type 50%. Weekly wick. Excuse me. You're probably wondering why I'm yawning at 1 PM in the afternoon. Right, so yeah, this is a 50% weekly wick. Obviously on the daily we can see we have this massive fair value gap and we have this order block. So I'm going to mark out the fair value gap on the daily. So if price is bullish, as in if we are expecting to take out this high that I've had marked up for a while now, this fair value gap should act as support, especially considering it's on a daily time frame. It wouldn't surprise me for price to come down, turn around, and then take out the high, and then we start to see a break of structure. If price doesn't want to take out this high, we should see this get traded through, get disrespected, and we want to see this low get violated basically. So for me to be happy that there's a turn in the market, this low has to get taken. Until then, I'm still bullish. Drop down to 4 hour. You see there's another order block here. South side liquidity there. Let me mark out all this down point now. So we took out liquidity here, and obviously we've got another fair value gap within the parent fair value gap here. So there is reason for us to trade down here. Furthermore, if we look at the total trading, this trading range that we're currently in, wrong thing. We can clearly see that this parent fair value gap is the larger fair value gap. So the daily time frame fair value gap, that's the parent to this, which would be like the child, I guess, like a little family. Because it's on a lower time frame, then what we can do is we can actually hone in and get tighter and tighter and try and find the exact price levels to what we would expect price to trade to. But anyway, we can see it's below the 50% level, which means it's discount, and also and with that taken into account, that might be supportive for higher prices and this high. Let me make this thicker and then put the right in on the right, and this buy side getting taken. Now, if it does dip below here, and we are still bullish, obviously it's going to be dependent on what dollar's doing. Obviously the only time I'd be wanting to buy in this market is when price comes below this 50% level, and it shouldn't spend long there at all. So yeah, premium, discount, obviously we're in a high premium right now, we've got buy side risk in there. Price doesn't tend to just take it, it would probably engineer this as liquidity, move down, collect orders at fair value, and then target that buy side accordingly. Drop down to the hourly. Obviously we can see that this is quite a big consolidation for this move. But again, it all depends on Monday really. Monday's gonna explain a lot. I do know that Monday is a bank holiday this week, so I'm expecting consolidation or not much price action anyway. And I don't trade Mondays, and I suggest you guys don't trade Mondays either. But it is possible that buy side does just get taken in Monday or early Tuesday, and then for the rest of the week we start to see a bearish stance, because again we're at the beginning of a new month. It probably wants to create the high of the month if it's going to be a bearish month, which is what I'm anticipating. So it needs to hurry up, get that high made, and then start to work its way down into these levels. So cheers to the British economy. Right, so we're back on the daily, and if you look at how bullish this candle is here, this adds, so the same way I had two theories for dollar in terms of how it would trade below market if it was going to. Similar here, if we look at the 50% level, although I said it might want to offer discount, when price is close to its target, it doesn't tend to necessarily trade to fair value as often. This is in ICT's 2022 mentorship. I have it in my notes somewhere. Let me see if I can find them. Bear with me. So I never actually found the exact notes, but I do recall ICT stating how when price is near its target, it doesn't necessarily need to return to the fair value gaps. which is why I'm saying that price might not even want to bother come into the discount off here. It might simply return to previous day's candle, which will be here, and then we can have a look for, would then look for discount arrays within that zone. So let's do that. You can see there's an order block here. So again, it's just a matter of seeing what happens Monday. This is why we don't trade Mondays, because there's so much that can happen and unfold, so I'm not going to say much. But I am anticipating this buy side getting taken. So I did, although I couldn't find my exact notes, I did find my notes on seasonal tendencies. And I didn't even realize, but I've got it written down here that GBP USD tends to be bullish between March and May. And obviously, as we're starting May now, I'm expecting the high to be made. If we're going off, you know, seasonal tendencies, it's common that the high of the year will be made in May. So again, this is supportive of that, and that just, again, all of this adds to confluence and reason as to why we should be looking to sell GBP soon, or looking, and obviously there's liquidity up here. This is a massive monthly fair value gap I've got marked out, which means there's a lot of liquidity resting in here, which means there's a lot of orders resting above this buy side again, and that's necessary for us to want to see a big move down. It's likely the big institutions will see this as a selling opportunity, and that's when we're going to start to see a shift in market structure, and us finally start to, like I said, descend and work our way down into all this sell side liquidity which has been building up. That will also be supported by my bullish narrative on dollar, expecting us to start to trade up into these highs accordingly. So I guess we'll see. Obviously, I'm going to be posting a video tomorrow. We'll have a lot more clarity then. This video is reaching 22 minutes now, so I don't want to keep going. But I think I'm going to leave it at that. Euro. I'm not going to bother with Euro actually today for time's sake. But yeah, this has been GBP baby. Thank you for watching this weekly review. It has been quite an interesting week. It was like I said, it was pretty classic week in terms of us making the go on Tuesday and then trading up after that and getting these highs tagged, which we did call. It's crazy because I was thinking about how I had these highs called Sunday last week. However, my bias changed once I saw this. And I guess this is what this move down into Tuesday. This is all manipulation, because the real move unfolded after this and was bullish. So this was an example of me giving into that manipulation, as in I changed my bias thinking it was only going to trade into this, but we saw we clearly comfortably as well traded through it and left those levels behind. One thing to note as well, if we see this as all manipulation and we've traded through it, this from here to here is technically a bullish order block. So let me just, I'll show you. If we look on the daily, obviously this is the bullish order block it created. This move from here down to here, bullish order block. So if we use our range, our measuring range, we can see where price should reach, because it should reach double the size of the order block. So I'll have to make a separate video explaining this more clearly, but we can see that -1, which should be a target, and right now we just traded to 0.62. You can see we've met with some resistance. So now it would make sense for it to take out these highs, trade up to this -1 level, and I'm going to mark this out on the chart as a potential high target for the week. So yeah, that's all for now, guys. This has been GBP baby. Next week I am going to start a demo FOREX.com account, and then I'll be showing you some trades that I'm planning on taking. I might not film the trades, but obviously we'll be able to see them execute the executions on this platform, so should be good. and I'll give you some more information on that tomorrow. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.